Good morning. Hi, everyone. My name is Alice Herndon, and I am happy to be with you today to share something with you that's going to revolve around your business plan. So, if you're ready to grow, hashtag let's grow. I'm going to share my screen with you. Okay, so let's get started. So, today we're going to talk about business plans, and that's right, developing your business plan. Business plans really aren't for people outside of your business, so you may think business plans are actually used for you. It's a tracking mechanism. It allows you to hold yourself accountable to the things that you say that you are going to do. And so today, what I'd like to do is share with you some of those tips and tricks that is going to support you as you develop a business plan. So, some of the things I'd like for you to think about. Developing a business plan requires planning. So, when you put your business plan together, you really want to plan out what are some of those things that you need. You also want to really devote some time to it that's going to allow you to stay focused so that way you can continue to plan out your business plan. Some things I'd like for you to remember. So if you would just write some of these things down. Developing a business plan requires planning, and in planning, it's something that you can review every 90 days. So every 90 days, it's like Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. You definitely want to focus on what's happening, what works, and what might you need to change. So some of the things that are included in the business plan are the following pieces, and it's really 7 areas. Ready? Let's grow. So the first thing that you want to identify is the name of your business. Write the name of the business. It's normally a cover page and it allows you to make it very pretty. But inside of that business plan is the name of the firm. You also want to list the owner's name. So if it's one owner, which would be a sole member, if you're an LLC, or if you're a nonprofit organization, you can still create that business plan because it allows you to review who's your target market and who's you serve, and we'll get into that a little bit later on. But list all of the owners' names. So you want to list your name. If you have other partners that might be owners to your business, you want to include that as well, okay? The next thing that you want to include is information on the business. Why did you get into business? What's the history of the business? So write down, how did you get into business? Why did this business come to be? Who are the people that you want to identify and serve in your business? This includes your market analysis. So when we talk about market analysis, you're really looking at who's your competitors, who else that is in business that's doing the exact same thing that you're doing. You want to be able to identify that. And you want to see what they're doing and if it works. If it's something that's working, is it something that you can also mimic? And is there a gap that you're looking to fill? This all helps you with identifying your market analysis. Who's your target market? Or is it women? Is it children? Is it men? Is it couples? So who's your target market? Even in identifying who's your target market, you also want to identify the demographics. So sex or gender, and then you want to look at the income pieces. How much money are they making? Because this allows you to identify if you're pricing your widget at a particular price and does it work. The other thing that you want to consider as well is where do they live? Do they have technology? So all of those things are important. So you want to jot those things down about your market analysis. The next thing that you'll want to do and identify is your market strategy. So when we talk about a market strategy, how do you get your announcement of your widget out in front of your market? So will you use social media? Will you use print ads? And some print ads do work. And if you use social media, what platforms? And this is where you want to review my video called Be Social. But also, how do you get in front of these people? Social media is Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and others. So you can also use various ads to get in front of your target markets. So that way you can figure out which is going to be the best for your business. Some ads are as little as $20, so that's not really difficult. But again, view my video on Be Social. It'll give you a lot more detail. The other thing when you think about in your market strategy is how long will you keep that ad in front of your target market? Okay. The next thing is management. Who's going to be a part of your team? So, as you're thinking about your team and the importance of having that team is who's supporting you? Are you the only person? Will there be other partners, or will you actually connect with other people that can support you in your business? So you want to have their resumes available, because what it does, it offers credibility about your knowledge in that particular business. So if you're looking at building out that business plan, the biggest piece is your management team and understanding your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your challenges. And we'll talk more about that in another video that I'm working on. Last but certainly not least is financials. So while you do not need to be a CPA or an accountant, you do need to be able to follow the money and say, this is how much money we have contributed to our startup costs. Startup costs are very important because it's only a one-time expense. Then you start looking at your projected income for year number one. That's a totally separate financial column. So your first column is startup costs. Your second column is your projection for your first year with the clients that you're going to serve. Once you're in that first year, you're able to figure out what works, what doesn't work, and what you might need to pivot on and change. Then you want to create year two and year three. So you want at least 3 years of financials that you want to include in your business plan. Now notice this, if you put 3 years and you're already in year two, continue to build. What does the next 3 years look like? And you want to include that in your business plan, because what happens is your initial business plan is ABC Company Business Plan V1 or version 1. The next year when it changes, it becomes version 2, and so on and so forth. So again, name of your company or your firm, list all of the names of the owners or partners that are part of the organization, the information on the business, your history, why did you get started, and why did you want to fill this gap in the industry that you're serving. Your market analysis, which is your competitive analysis, and your market strategy, how you intend to get in front of your clientele. And then finally, management, your team, and the financials, okay? Now, the business plan template is really just this simple because all of the previous pieces that I asked you to identify will now go into the business plan template. The business plan template includes the executive summary, which is the absolute last piece that you will write. So the first piece that you're going to write is going to be product, service, and market analysis. Product, service, and market analysis says, this is the service that I intend to do, or these are the products that I will intend to create or make or purchase and have in stock for my clientele. In your market analysis, as I shared previously, you want to be able to identify who else is in the industry and doing what you're wanting to do, or do they do it poorly, or do they do it exceptionally well? So where will you fit? And what is the gap that's not being met in that particular industry? That leads me to my next piece, which is industry and competitive analysis. When you look at the industry that you're working in, you want to be able to do a competitive analysis and share and specifically state why people should choose you. They should choose me because I'm a business expert and I've been in the industry over a long period of time. But the other side of that, here's my success stories. And then you list those. So your industry and your competitive analysis allows people to choose you, and it keeps you abreast to what others are doing that you might be able to quickly pivot on and stay competitive in the industry. The next piece is your management. So remember previously I said grab the resumes of all of those that are on your team so that way you can prove that you are industry experts. This is where you'll include this piece. So you'll just list their names as well as a brief summary of their expertise along with any awards or certificates that they may have received, because this now shows that I have a team that's put in place that are experts in this particular industry. That's your management team. The next piece that I'd like for you to consider, again, is your financial data. So your financial data allows you to take that pro forma that I talked about, the startup cost, your year one, year two, and what it does, it shows what you anticipate for income coming in and what you anticipate for expenditures, those monies that'll be going out. At the end of that, you'll have your return on your investment, or what is considered a balance sheet. And we'll talk more about that in another video. So your financial data is right there, and it allows you to see those projections. Those projections are very important for you in your business, because now you have the opportunity of seeing this landscape of what you intend to do. And if something is not lining up, so you have your projected budget, but you also have your actuals. If your actuals are not lining up with what your projection is going to be, this allows you to pivot or make changes within the business that would allow you to say, this isn't working, let's change it, let's try something new. We're in a time right now where whatever you try can be welcome, because there is no right or wrong when you're beta testing. It does allow you to figure out, this is what works and this is what doesn't work, and this is why we chose to use this method. Last but certainly not least is your personal financial statements. The personal financial statements go at the end of your business plan, because it now says that even if your business isn't doing well, you can also show that you have the credit score to be supportive in this business, to make you eligible or serve as a guarantor for reimbursement of loans or lines of credit as you move forward. So the business plan template now goes back to the executive summary. The executive summary gives an overview of the history of the organization and the service that you do, and your expertise in the industry, followed with your team, and that you have been financially positioned to be successful. That's the summary. Okay, so the executive summary is the last piece that you write, but it's also important for you. Product, service, and market analysis, your industry of competitive analysis, your management team, the financial data or data, and then your personal financial statements. This shows that you have the credibility to reimburse lines of credit or loans. Now, I gotta be honest with you. A lot of people think that you have to spend a lot of time in creating a business plan. Basically, you outline it in these 6 steps, right? So it's 7 pieces that I want you to pull together, but then you're going to put this information in the business plan itself. Once you make your business plan, and if you give it to a banker and someone says, I'm only interested in the financial pieces, you still give them the entire business plan because it shows that you have completed that document. Most bankers will only look at the financial data. They'll look at your product, your service, and your market analysis, and then they'll jump real quickly to the financial data. Don't feel offended. They're looking to see what your income is and your expenditures are, so that way they can know that you are positioned to reimburse them for the line of credit and or the loan, especially if it's a sizable amount. So again, that's the business template. Now, if you're interested in receiving a copy of the business template, like the video, share the video, but most importantly, follow me at #LaunchGrowPivot. If you're interested in receiving the business plan template, put that in the comments with your email address, or you can email me at Alice, ALYCE, at onyxbusinessconsulting.com. And I'm happy to send you a copy of the business plan template. Again, like the video, share the video, and follow me at #LaunchGrowPivot. Again, my name is Alice Herndon. You can find me on YouTube with Launch Grow Pivot. You can find me on Instagram at Alice Herndon. And you can find me on Facebook, Alice Herndon, right? And you can also find me on LinkedIn. Thank you so much for allowing me to share with you today what I thought might be very helpful. And that means building your business plan. While you think a business plan may be challenging, I promise you it's not as difficult as you may think that it is. But I'm also here to help you, and because information is free and knowledge is free, but I'm happy to support you in your endeavor. Thank you so much for watching another segment of #LaunchGrowPivot. Bye.